Good morning, Steve Fried with the morning grain comments. Overnight, grain prices started out lower as the president of China came out pretty strong about the U.S. current administration and U.S. and China relations. We also noted that COVID cases in China are increasing, which could bring down their economic growth forecast, which could also reduce some of their import data. We noted that the Chinese central bank is going to add some stimulus to their economy, which could help. We did note that the Dalian corn futures and soybean meal futures all traded higher. I think some of that has to do with increased demand domestically, and I think that we'll be watching pretty closely to see if that might increase the chances for China to come in and buy U.S. corn and soybeans. There is talk that the U.S. Fed may begin tapering and reducing bond purchases in November. That may not be quite unexpected. Some of the people feel that there could be higher rates, moderate increase in rates in 2022. We did note that Paris wheat futures are also higher, and again, on Friday we saw a big gain in Minneapolis futures trading over $10. I think all this comes in the fact that world exporters' wheat stocks are record low, milling stocks globally are record low. Europe needs to slow some of its wheat export pace, and Russia prices continue to rally as they increase their export tax. So the wheat market pretty much has some pretty strong fundamentals holding at these price levels. We will today get the first U.S. Crop ratings for the wheat, expected to be high, somewhere between 65 and 69%, good to excellent. We did see over the weekend heavy rains across the U.S. Midwest that could slow harvest there, thinking that perhaps the bean harvest is somewhere around 77% done, and corn 65% done. We will be watching pretty closely South American weather. Argentina got a few rains. Central Brazil had some heavy winds, some hail, heavy rains, but I think that it's early enough that they can replant some of the crops that may have gotten hurt. But overall, South American weather conditions are favorable. Still dry in Russia. We're still looking at long-term dry weather across the U.S. southern plains. We did note that some of the long-range maps are going drier and cooler for the Midwest as we get into November. Funds only long 18,000 beans, 219,000 corn, and actually short 17,000 wheat and 32,000 meal as of the commitments of traders. We think right now they're probably long about 32,000 beans, 230 corn, and even in the wheat. Private guesses for the bean carryout anywhere from 365 to 415 versus government's 320. Corn 1240 to 1300 versus government's 1500. And wheat, a pretty big range, 550 to 640, and the key is final exports. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day, and remember, always treat people like you yourself would like to be treated.